Else Inderberg, one of the group leaders at Oslo University Hospital, Department of Cellular Therapy. And we've been working on T-cell receptor and chimeric antigen receptor redirected T-cells for the last few years. So we're developing those from older antibody collections at the hospital or patient samples from patients treated with immunotherapy that have had effect from the treatment. I'm here with Pierre. You can introduce yourself.
So I'm Pierre Delard. So I'm a research scientist at the Department of Cell Therapy. And so my main focus is to work on TCA redirected T cells. And more generally, I was the one that was in charge of implementing and developing the different protocols of the INCU sites in our units and how to integrate it into our preclinical development workflow, basically.
The main goal of our research is preclinical. It's a translational research unit. We're looking to prove efficacy and safety of TCR and CAR redirected T cells before we translate this into clinical practice. So this is the Oslo University Hospital and the Norwegian Radium Hospital site, where we have our department of GMP production, cellular therapy, and then our translational research unit, which is located just across. And we've used the high throughput live imaging system from the INC site to assess the efficacy of adoptive T-cell therapies in preclinical development. So our department is one of the biggest GMP facilities in academia in Northern Europe. We have roughly 10 clinical trials ongoing with cellular therapy, and that's dendritic cell vaccines, it's CAR T cells, and it's both academic and industrial trials. So the Translational Research Unit has two groups working closely together for the development of chimeric antigen receptors or T-cell receptor therapy. And we also do immunomonitoring in clinical trials. And the group leaders are Sebastian Verschlee, who's a PI on the CAR development, and myself, who's running the TCR development. So our research aim is to develop efficient cellular therapies for solid cancer, mainly. So for the CAR T development, which most people know, the CARs consist of a targeting domain, which is a single chain Fv fragment from an antibody, recognizing the target, and then it's connected to a spacer or a hinge, and then the transmembrane domain, which can be taken from different molecules, and then it's attached to co-stimulatory domains such as CD28 or 4-1BB, and the last signaling domain is the CD3 zeta. So the way the therapy works is normally to collect blood from the patient, then isolate autologous T cells and activate those, modify them using viral constructs, lentivirus mostly, or retrovirus, to introduce the CAR. These are then expanded ex vivo before they're infused back into the patient. So CAR T therapy has worked very well in hematological malignancies, and the first FDA approval for CAR T therapy was in 2017. We've also tested this in-house, and there are a couple of publications from 2015 and 2019 using various targets. And this was in hematological malignancies, and we now want to expand the use of CAR T to solid tumours. And we've mainly been looking at osteosarcoma, and ovarian cancer. So the main challenges with this is the tumor microenvironment. This can be blocked by extracellular matrix. It can be blocked by chemokines, and the T cells. The main problem is that the T cells either don't get properly into the tumor, or that their function is inhibited by nutrient depletion or the induction of apoptosis, etc. And then for the TCR therapy in solid tumor, TCRs can recognize both intracellular and extracellular molecules. So this gives us a much larger amount of targets to use, but these do depend on MHC. So here's the structure of a TCR, which recognizes the tumor antigen presented by MHC molecules on tumor cells or on antigen-presenting cells. And we here have a CAR molecule that recognizes the surface antigen on tumor cells. So one of the problems with the CARs is that the antigen targeted should be different on the tumor cells from normal cells, which can be a challenge. And these are the number of TCR trials up until 2018, so the field is really lagging behind the CAR T field for clinical trials. So we think that TCR therapy may be one of the best options for solid tumor, and the targets we have been looking at in our system are mutated antigen presenting on microsatellite unstable colon cancer, and this is an MHC class 1 peptide target, and then we have a universal antigen which is telomerase, which is one of Pierre's main studies, and it's an overexpressed antigen presented on MHC class 2. And again, one of the main challenges is, like in CAR T therapy, the hostile tumor microenvironment, and additionally we can have loss of antigen presentation on MHC molecules. So this is from a recent review where we can see some of the advantages and disadvantages of TCR therapy versus CAR T therapy. For our research aims, the main use of the IncuSite system for us is to demonstrate preclinical efficacy. We also need to look at safety, which we can do, but so far haven't used the IncuSite to do, of modified immune cells before they're tested clinically. And here the IncuSite is really an ideal addition to testing in vitro killing efficacy of CAR or TCR modified T cells or NK cells, as we've used as well. It has high throughput and really visualizes the killing.
So the strategy that we are using through most of the adoptive cell therapy project that we have is first to validate the efficacy of our project, of our construct in different in vitro settings. But then after, when we need to go into a bit more elaborated experiments in order to go to have a better descriptions of our different therapies, we usually need to either test our products against patient cells or to test them against cells that have been grown into 3 dimension. And the use of IncuSite is especially interesting for us in the field of spheroids, because we rely in the preclinical development a lot in the validations of our therapies in vivo settings, so the use of animals. But this is extremely costly and time consuming, and for us it's important to have like a step between the in vitro validation and in the in vivo to show that our therapies are able to efficiently kill solid tumors that are 3D structured. And that's why we are using a lot IncuSite nowadays, is in the frame of spheroids, and organoids, but this is actually very preliminary. So we have adapted several protocols to generate spheroids and organoids using different physical constraints or chemical and protein coatings, or to generate different type of tumors, so from different backgrounds. So we have done lymphoma, colorectal, melanoma, lung, to recreate the tumor microenvironment and be able to assess the efficacy of our therapies in a high throughput manner. This is the first example that we are going to show you. It's TCA redirected T cells. And so we are growing colorectal cells in spheroids, and we are introducing, after 5 days of growth, the T cells into the mix, and we are looking at the killing. And what we can see on this film is that we are able to have a great description, both in terms of spatial and time description of the killing phenomenons, and we are able to harness a lot of quantitative measurements on the ability of our products to kill the cognate target. And we have been able to adapt this to also other type of therapeutic solutions. So this is a recent off-the-shelf therapy that we have developed. So the idea is to use NK cell lines and to add them TCR, so to redirect them against the cancer. So the goal is to produce an allogenic off-the-shelf therapy. And what we are doing is more or less the same kind of colorectal spheroids. And as you can see, as soon as you introduce even a very small number of T cells, they are gathering around the tumor spheroids and start to kill. We have done actually a good deal of technical papers, and in order to demonstrate how we can adapt InQsights and high throughput live imaging into the CAR development, the CAR preclinical development. And this is actually the first paper that we have done. And here we are growing tumor spheroids adapted to the InQsight machine, and we are using CD19 CAR, which is our gold standard when it's come to CAR T cells. And as you can see, as soon as you introduce the CAR T cell, they start to kill the tumor spheroids and are able to control their growth, which is not the case for negative control. So this is the first example of the paper that we have done. And we have done a second one recently, where we were able to move one step further in the complexity of the development of spheroids that we are using in InQsight. So we are developing cysts from a colorectal cell lines, and so they are showing this kind of lumen in the center. So it's another layer in the 3D structuration of our tumors. And once again, we were able to show and how we can adapt this to the validation of CAR therapy. So this is a second paper that has been published really recently. So I would say that the advantage of InQsights is its versatility and the number of applications that we can have. So I've shown you killing against spheroids, which is one of the major thing that we are doing here. But here is another application that has been developed in the lab, is to use the InQsight to do single cell tracking. And so if I just put back, you can follow. So this is osteosarcoma cells. And you can see here an effector cell that is redirected. That is two that are going to interact with our target cells. And after a couple of minutes after the interaction, the cells is going to die, as you can see here. So this is one of the great advantage of InQsight in general is its versatility. We're able to really play on a lot of different parameters to adapt it to our needs. So it can be high time resolution, or it can be a lot of conditions. For example, we have tested some chemicals, and we're able to go to several thousands of different conditions and harness a lot of quantitative measurements very quickly and very efficiently. So this is really why we are using so much InQsight and why we rely so much on this apparatus in our preclinical development. And so this is just an example of the publications that we have done since we received the apparatus in 2018, if I remember correctly. And so this is the 4 papers that we have published using the IncuSites, and 2 of these papers, so the number 2 and the number 4, were actually technical paper just on how to use IncuSite in the development, in the preclinical development of adoptive cell therapy. And we are expecting to have much more, occasions to use this technique in the future because it's been used now for almost all the project that has been developed in the lab. It has been now a standard. It's another validation step in our workflow.
I think we weren't even, we knew we were going to use it and what for in the beginning, but I think we're just using IncuSite more and more, really.
Yeah,